So since we entered Wano, Luffy's been growing at a really rapid rate, and at this point, you know, some people even think he's top 10, and it's hard to really argue against it. The best argument anyone can give at this point is, let's just wait and see how everything plays out, and then we'll decide, because the feats he's pulling out are really insane, and I don't think anyone would have thought that this is exactly how Luffy would pull out all these feats in this manner, you know, with such brute force. But I still think there's a ways Luffy has to go in terms of his Haki and actually getting to a level in which he is really good at using Haki. And in this video, you know, I'm just going to go through it and explain, and you can tell me what you think. Now, of course, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. I don't know what you're waiting for. You know, click that red button, make it change color. And as always, if you're not up to date and you're still skeptical if this might contain spoilers for you, might want to check the description. I put a tag there so you know where you need to be to watch this video without any spoilers. But like I was saying, let's get into the video. Now, coming out of the time skip, it seemed that Luffy had learned Haki enough to compete with everyone who was around him, and that was true. But at the same time, what wasn't really clear but has been hinted as to us subtly is the fact that Luffy's Haki is not as good as everyone else's. For, you know, a lot of the top tier characters, his Haki leaves a lot to be desired. Right? And when I say top tier, I'm really just talking about, you know, Yonko commanders and above. It still leaves a lot to be desired. Luffy was struggling against Cracker. Luffy was struggling against Katakuri. You know, there's so many instances in which you look and you realize that, look, Luffy still needs to learn. For example, if you look at his basic armament, he struggled against Katakuri, who even told him that some people have better armament than you, right? You like, your armament's not that great. You know, your speed's not that great, your devil fruit, all you just have is energy, really. He basically said everything you have, I have, but better. If you look at his fight with Cracker, it's only when he went into Gear 4th. And even then, you could argue whether in Gear 4th his armament gets stronger or it's his devil fruit that's reinforcing his armament that makes him seem stronger. So really, you know, a lot of characters do have better armament than Luffy on a basic level. Now, Luffy's learned an advanced form. Yes, that's true. So now he's able to, you know, inflict more damage and, you know, everything that comes with it. But even then, it's still not as great, because we look at examples like Sentomaru, all the way back in Sabaody. You look at the Admirals in Marineford and, you know, a couple of characters here along the way, and their armament seems to be on a whole different level. Even when Luffy learned armament in order to hurt Kaido, and he was doing so in the first half of this fight, it didn't seem as strong as what Rayleigh used on the elephant, right? What Rayleigh used on the elephant seemed to be a whole different level to anything Luffy has showcased thus far. And so you think about it and you realize that Luffy, as though he has the basics of all kinds of Haki at this point, right? Even his observation doesn't seem as great as Enel or anyone, you know, who was in Skypiea, those people who could tell fights, what was going on, who was winning, who was losing, how they were doing, how strong they were, how weak they are. He can kind of do it, but really it's on a much smaller scale. It seems to be only in his immediate area in which he's in. And then you come to his fight with Katakuri, and in his fight with Katakuri, you know, we can see that even though Luffy has Future Sight now, he doesn't use it, he can't use it all the time like Katakuri can, because Katakuri, apart from that one moment in his fight with Luffy, it seems Katakuri has it on. Whether he's chilling, whether he's serious, whether he's just minding his own business, he always has the Future Sight on, whereas Luffy doesn't really have it on all the time, right? He has it on only in situations which he's fighting, and that's about it. So even his future side needs, you know, a ways to go, and this is a headcanon, of course, but I'd even argue to say that he can't see as far into the future as Katakuri can. You know, I just want to believe that, you know, for Katakuri, who's been using future sight for, you know, decades now. So, like I was saying, his Haki leaves a lot to be desired. Although I do like the idea that his Haki leaves a lot to desired, also because that kind of would explain, you know, why not everyone in the top, you know, of the top tiers needs Conqueror's Haki or this advanced form of Conqueror's Haki in order to fight on an even playing field, right? Some people may just have really great armament Haki. This is why I'm not too keen on someone like Garp having, you know, Conqueror's Haki to match someone like Roger and Whitebeard. I feel the story would just be as great if Garp had armament, right? Garp wasn't born as gifted as some of these guys, but he worked his way, and so he was respected for that, right? The fact that he could keep up with his conquerors when he wasn't a conqueror himself, right? He wasn't just born with this special trait. He worked hard for it. And I think a lot of people will really enjoy that, given the fact that a lot of these things in One Piece seem to be prophesied and told beforehand. And so it kind of takes away the whole point we're being given of people putting in, their own effort into pursuing their dreams. So it's a small thing, but I feel like it does make a difference. But coming back to the whole Luffy thing, even his Conqueror's Haki probably isn't as good, right? He's finally learned it, but I think to sum it up, it's like Rayleigh said when they came out of the time skip, that he only managed to teach Luffy the basics. And so whether it's Haki or advanced forms of Haki, Luffy only knows the basics. And now we will get to see him improve. And I think going on into the final arcs, into the final saga, we will see how Luffy will take all the basics of the different forms of Haki he's learned over the series and improve on those first of all, and then find an interesting way to mix them together in order to give us something interesting, whether it's a Gear 5, whether it's an awakening, whether it's just a new form of Gear 4 or a Gear 6, whatever it is. I think he'll find an interesting way of putting it together. And by when I say he, I obviously mean Oda, not Luffy, because, it's Oda's story. But, yeah, I think that Luffy has a way to go with his Haki, and that will probably be the key to him, unlocking whatever it will be in terms of having a form to fight these top tiers in the final saga. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think on everything that I've said. Like this video if you like the video, subscribe if you want, more content like this. If you know someone who needs to hear the truth, please share this video with them. If you have time, watch one of my other videos, and if not, thank you for watching this video to the end, guys. This is King KZ. I'll see you in the next one.